What if I told you that paying off your debt isn't about how much you earn, but about how you structure your chaos? Let's be real for a second. If you're watching this, you probably have a list of debts that feels less like a financial obligation and more like a personal failure. Maybe it's a credit card balance that grows every month no matter what you do. Maybe it's a student loan that seems to have a bottomless pit of interest. Or maybe it's a mix of everything, creating a background hum of anxiety that never really turns off. Here is the truth that banks and lenders don't want you to focus on. Debt is not a moral failing. It is a math problem wrapped in a behavioral psychology challenge. And the reason most people fail to pay it off isn't because they don't make enough money. It's because they try to tackle it all at once, or they use a strategy that fights against their human nature. Welcome back to Fiscal Beacon. I'm your host, and today we are going to build a debt payoff plan that actually works. Not the theoretical one that looks good on a spreadsheet, but the one that survives Tuesday when you're tired, stressed, and tempted by a sale. We're going to cover how to inventory your debt, choose between the two major payoff strategies, and most importantly, how to keep your momentum when things get boring. By the end of this video, you will have a clear roadmap. You'll know exactly which debt to attack first, how much extra you need to throw at it, and why the order matters more than the total amount. Let's dive in. Step 1 is the part everyone skips because it's tedious. You have to do the audit. You cannot fight an enemy you cannot see. Pull out a piece of paper or open a blank Excel sheet. I want you to list every single debt you owe. Credit cards, personal loans, car loans, student loans, medical bills. If it has a minimum payment, it goes on the list. For each debt, you need 3 pieces of information. 1, the total balance. 2, the minimum monthly payment. And 3, the interest rate or APR. Let's look at a hypothetical example. Meet Sarah. Sarah has 3 debts. First, a credit card with a $5,000 balance, a $150 minimum payment, and a 22% interest rate. Second, a car loan with a $10,000 balance, a $300 minimum payment, and a 6% interest rate. Third, a personal loan with a $2,000 balance, a $100 minimum payment, and a 15% interest rate. Sarah's total minimum payments are $550 a month. If she just pays the minimums, she might be in debt for decades. The interest is eating her alive. So, we need a plan. And that brings us to the great debate in the personal finance world, the debt snowball versus the debt avalanche. Both work. Both get you to zero. But they work in completely different ways. Let's talk about strategy A, the debt snowball. This is the method popularized by Dave Ramsey, and for good reason. It is psychologically powerful. The rule is simple. You pay the minimums on all your debts, except for the one with the smallest balance. You throw every extra dollar you have at that smallest debt. In Sarah's case, her smallest balance is the $2,000 personal loan. So, she pays $150 on the credit card, $300 on the car, and whatever extra money she has, let's say $200 a month from her budget, goes straight to the personal loan. Why do this? Because it creates a quick win. Sarah will pay off that $2,000 loan in about 10 months. When she does, she doesn't just save money, she gains momentum. That $100 minimum payment from the personal loan is now freed up. She adds that to her extra $200, so now she's throwing $300 a month at her next target. The beauty of the snowball isn't the math. It's the dopamine hit. You cross something off the list. You feel a sense of progress. For many people, especially those who feel overwhelmed by the sheer volume of debt, this visual progress is the only thing that keeps them going. It turns a marathon into a series of short sprints. Now let's look at strategy B, the debt avalanche. This is the mathematical approach. Instead of looking at the balance, you look at the interest rate. You pay minimums on everything, but you attack the debt with the highest interest rate first. Back to Sarah. Her highest interest rate is 22% on the credit card. So, under the avalanche method, she ignores the $2,000 loan for now. She pays $300 a month extra toward that credit card. Mathematically, this is the superior choice. By killing the 22% debt first, she saves hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars in interest over the life of the loan. In Sarah's scenario, the avalanche method would save her significantly more money than the snowball method because it eliminates the most expensive debt fastest. So, which one should you choose? Here is the rule of thumb. If you are disciplined, logical, and can stay motivated by long-term goals, choose the avalanche. If you struggle with consistency, need quick wins to stay motivated, or feel paralyzed by the size of your debt, choose the snowball. There is no wrong answer here. The best debt payoff plan is the one you will actually stick to. A plan that saves you $500 but causes you to quit after 3 months is worse than a plan that costs you $500 in extra interest but gets you debt-free in 2 years. Now let's talk about the behavioral hack that makes these plans